In silence, thousands of people live in an invisible psychic prison, the compulsion to absorb the pain of others as if it were their own. They feel emotionally responsible for everyone around them, family, partners, friends, co-workers, and, without realizing it, become human sponges, soaking up the suffering of others and drowning in pains that do not even belong to them. At first glance, this seems like empathy. It seems noble. It seems altruistic. But Carl Gustav Jung saw something much deeper and more dangerous behind this pattern. According to Jung, this behavior does not arise from compassion, but rather from an unconscious impulse rooted in unhealed emotional wounds. He called this the wounded healer complex, a psychic configuration that leads the individual to seek the suffering of others as a way to avoid confronting their own internal pains. Helping becomes an escape. Suffering for another transforms into a psychological anesthetic to avoid facing one's own traumas. And so the empathetic person begins to carry burdens that are not theirs, without understanding why they feel exhausted, overwhelmed, or emotionally drained. This dynamic often originates in childhood when the child grows up in unstable environments, surrounded by emotionally unbalanced adults. To survive, they learn to regulate the environment around them. They become helpful, intuitive, sensitive to the mood changes of those nearby. They develop what Jung called an auxiliary ego, a false identity shaped not by their own desires, but by the need to be needed. They grow up believing that if they are not there to fix others, they will have no value at all. Throughout life, this pattern disguises itself as empathy, but operates as an internal prison. The person emotionally merges with those who suffer, loses their own boundaries, and enters a state that Jung described as a primitive psychic fusion, where the self and the other become indistinguishable. They feel what the other feels, suffer what the other suffers, and believe that this is love. But it is not love. It is emotional confusion. It is dependence disguised as compassion.